the Wavedash, the legendary technique that, in part, makes Melee the beautiful game it is. Now, it's not nearly as powerful in Ultimate, except for one character in Shulk who breaks the game. Let me show you how to break this game and perform this incredible technique. First, you must perform dial storage, and don't click away. It's much easier than I thought it was for a long while. Alright? There are a couple different ways to do it, but I'm going to teach you the easy way. It's not perfect, but I think it's the best, most practical way to pull it off in an actual match. All you do is you simply hold the special button for 10 frames or less. The closer you get to 10 frames, the better. And then you let go while you're in an art. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You just hold the special for 10 frames or less and let go. You shouldn't see the dial pop up all the way. You should see some glowing light. If you see the glowing light and you don't see a dial, you did a good job, especially if the glowing light is getting bigger and bigger. That means you're getting closer to 10 frames. So try to get the dial almost coming out without it actually popping up. This method only works with an art, but it's easy to do without one too. If you don't have an art out, all you do is you hold the frames for you hold the B button for about 10 frames, and then you use a move, like jab. Like that. Same way, it's just if you hold the B button for less than 10 frames and let go, it will select jump art, which will not charge the dial for us. So we don't want that. So you cancel it with a jab or with an aerial, whatever you need, and it will still charge the 10 frames or so. The Shulk mains call this a ghetto dial charge. I'm not sure why it's called that. I guess because it's imperfect, you know, you're not always gonna get exactly 10 frames, but it's sufficient, and in my opinion, the best way to perform the dial charge. I'll link videos in the description that teach you how to store the dial in other ways if you wanna learn those ways as well, or even the ghetto charge in more detail. So go watch those if you wanna learn those, but honestly, to do the Wavedash, you don't at all need to know those. You know, it'll make it very slightly better. But, you know, if you're just practicing and you want to learn the Wavedash, I say go with the ghetto charge. Now to perform the actual Wavedash. So we needed dial storage. So before you go to perform the Wavedash, store your dial. Then perform a normal Wavedash like you would. You jump, air dodge towards the ground, preferably with the Z button or the Z button, as it allows you to buffer the input. You can't do that with tether grab characters, but obviously Shulk doesn't have a tether, so we don't care in this video. This isn't required though. Nico doesn't use Z when he performs his Wavedash, and he's better at it than I am, so if you want to Wavedash with a trigger or something else, go for it. And then angle the air dodge left or right and towards the ground so that your character slides across it for a short while. Then, as you land, hit the B button for long enough that the dial pops up. It should only take a few frames, and only 1 frame if you got a perfect dial storage of 10 frames. This will finish the air dodge and cancel the leg from it with the dial. Congratulations, you did it. That's all it is. You charge up the dial, you jump, air dodge, and then hit the B button as you land. And it cancels the leg, and it's a very good, very practical, very fun air dodge. Really fun movement to get used to, though it may take a lot of practice. And it may take a lot of practice, particularly if you haven't done the normal Wavedash much before. So honestly, if you just want to practice normal Wavedashing first, I say go for it. It's definitely useful. It'll help you get the best angles down for the Z button too. So I would recommend just practicing the normal Wavedash before you do Shulk's Wavedash. It just makes it a little less complicated at first, so you can get that feeling down before you get the whole Shulk Wavedash going too, because you also have to time the B button press. which I make it sound difficult, but really, with enough practice, I think it can be totally consistent and extremely helpful in real practical matches, in tournament and otherwise. Troubleshooting. Alright, so if you jump too high before air dodging, you're not air dodging fast enough. In this situation, I would say using Z might help you. You know, you want to get barely off the ground when you air dodge. You want basically to barely leave the ground whatsoever. Alright, so on to troubleshooting. If you jump too high before air dodging, you're not air dodging fast enough. In this situation, if you practice and can't get it down, seriously think about switching to using the grab button, the Z button, the Z button, because allowing you to buffer it does make it a lot easier. If the dial takes too long to pop up, your dial storage, you're either doing it wrong or you've only charged a couple of frames. So when you're charging the dial, make sure that the white light is glowing pretty brightly. You want it to get pretty big without actually seeing any of the dial pop up. We want to store upwards of 7 frames-ish, so just make sure so that when you're practicing dial storing, that you're getting a fairly large light coming out. And then the problem that I had the most is if you immediately go into shield art or speed art after wave dashing, it means you're holding the direction for the air dodge too long. Try to return the stick to neutral earlier after air dodging, because we don't want to be forced to switch into shield art or speed art whenever we air dodge one way or another. It's nice to be able to choose to using this technique, but we don't want to be forced to do that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you see the application and the uses of Shulk's Wavedash, and I can't wait until we get back to offline tournaments so we can see the best Shulk players putting this into action. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a dandy day.